Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be looking at a very basic thing about Scratch. And now, Scratch is a programming language that we use. It's a visual programming language that helps kids to develop themselves in the area of programming. Now, you might ask me, what are the basic advantages of Scratch? And of course, you must have heard about these things before, but I would revisit them as we go on in the course in the class. Today we're going to be looking at the very basic and fundamental purpose why Scratch was created and some of the features of Scratch. And so I want you to stay tuned. Thank you. So right here we're going to be opening Scratch. This is the Scratch software we're using for Mac. This is MacBook Pro. I'm using a MacBook computer, but you can get it for Windows and also for Mac. It is available for, I think, all is available for Linux, and it's also available for Unix and every other OS. So we're going to click on Scratch and wait for it to load. Scratch is loading. Oh, cool. Now we are going to be looking at some of the basic structure of Scratch. This is Scratch interface, where we have this place that I'm pointing at is the coding ground, or we can call it the canvas, where we can drag and drop our code. Drag and drop our code and all that. And this part where you have some of these blocks of code is called the programming palette or blocks of code, where they make this sprite perform operations that you want. You want it to show, you want it to hide, it will do exactly what you want. And now we have so many sections in our block in our coding palette. We have the move section, we have the loop section, we have the sound, we have the events. And this event is very important because this is one of the first things you have to drag and drop. So when the flag is clicked, do this. When the space bar is clicked, um, when the space bar is clicked, move 10 steps. When the flag is clicked, move 10 steps. Just an example of what, and if you want to delete this code, you just drag and drop it here. You just drag and drop it here. And then we have the sound where we allow our sprites to make a sound. That's the section here. Then events. Of course, we looked at events already. Then control. You want it to repeat a particular motion, a particular words or something. They will look at all these things one by one later on. Then sensing, then operators, then variables, and then all blocks. We will look at them in our some of the some of the courses that we're going to be looking at, some of the short videos I'll be making. If you have any question, please put your question in the comment section. If you want me to create any video, explain certain things, please put your comments in the video in the comment section. Okay, thank you. So we are good. This is the code section, and this is the costume section. Costume section is where we have our sprite, usually called a character. It's also called character, but in Scratch we call it sprite. Our sprite, which is a cat, has two costumes, like the costumes. You see the first one, and this is the second one, and it looks like it is moving. It is working when you click on them interchangeably. All right. And sounds, we can customize our sounds with this other section. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some other fields. We can look at Scratch can be dragged backwards, forward, up and down. Is it okay? And we can also increase the size of Scratch or decrease the size. I would like to decrease it right now, and then say 50. Click out, and then the sprite will reduce automatically. And we can of course increase the size by 150, and then you see how it goes. Then we can increase it again to 200. Oops, 200%, and then it increases one more time. Increase one more time. So how do we change this sprite? How do we change this sprite? We can change it by either deleting it from here, from this section, or we add more sprites from this section. You see here, choose a sprite. So I want to show you how to remove this sprite from the picture, right? We just click on this delete button here and it's gone. And it will go automatically, right? So if we want to select a new sprite, we just click on this choose sprite and then we click on it and then it will pop out this screen where we have so many types of sprites, from letters to animals to people to fantasy to dance. It's quite loading very slowly. It's loading slowly. Please be patient while my laptop loads up. Uh, okay, there's so many sprites right here. You can see them. All are customizable. All are programmable rather, and also customizable. So you can, if you want, if you want some letters, you want to customize the letters, you click on letters, and then you get to see A to Z, A to Z, A to Z. All right, in different fonts and different sizes. Excellent. So if you want some fantasy, you want Pico, Giga, you want some dragons and elf, some fantasy stuff that you might need for your project or your coding. You can grab them from here, and you can also search. You can say, in case you're looking for parrot, you can just click Parrot, and this is parrot, and then that's it right here. All right, you can add more sprites and just search for them. You can say Pico, and then Pico comes up, and then you click, and then it comes up, and then you can drag it right here, and then you can start programming them individually. Remember, when you click on Pico and you want to make Pico perform some pattern certain operation, you choose your sprite and then you drag here. All right. When you want to want to program the parrot, you click on the parrot and then you drag your code and drop and then put some other programming blocks underneath this when the flag is clicked. I hope that's clear. And so we can also add a background to this our sprite, a background. And a background in Sprite in Scratch is called backdrop. See the name here, backdrop. So we click on this, choose a backdrop, and this helps us to determine how our project will look. Well, for me, I always like to use a very simple backdrop, something very simple, maybe something like a desert, for instance. You see, our parrot can be here, and our Pico can also be somewhere here. All right, and then we do certain things, with it. This background can be I would like to say this very, very importantly. Please listen to this. If you don't like this background, you can change it. And how do you change it? Click here and then just click here, and it automatically changes.